Welcome back to another edition of this Daily Stampede's Film Room. I've got myself, Robert Steeg. I've got the always insightful, always smart, talks me into my stupid predictions every single week, Seth Varnadore here, joining alongside us as we look into a little bit of week 6 or week 4 or the 5th game of the season or however else we're keeping this tracked. USF versus Cincinnati. Well, let's get the bad stuff out of the way. We lost.
Let's
get the worst.
USF, East Carolina. You're really jumping. East Carolina. Yeah. Not great. Not great.
And you know what? That's okay. You know, you win some, you lose most. And you get embarrassed sometimes. Sometimes your pants just fall and, you know, the whole school sees everything. And, you know, sometimes you got to laugh with it too. You know, that's what I'm hoping we can get out of this session here, Seth. I want a little bit of chuckling. I want some positive feelings. I hope you can supply that to me.
Probably not. But I think I feel like that we're all starting to turn into Stuart Smalley. Do you know who Stuart Smalley is?
That might be way out of my age range.
I think it might be. It's a little bit out of mine. He was a character on Saturday Night Live that was like helped people. He was a motivational guy. And he'd make them stand in front of the mirror and say, because I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like me. And he made him repeat it. I feel like we're turning into him.
If that's what we need to turn into, I mean, we'll have to convert some guys, but I think that's what we can do. The positive blog is back.
Because it's bad, but that's okay.
It's going to be okay eventually. So, Seth, let's just dive on into it. There's no sugarcoating this, is there?
No, it was bad. But you know, there was some. You know, there were spots where guys could make plays and they just didn't. And sometimes it was young guys who were in the game that, you know, if everybody's healthy, they're probably not playing yet, and they're maybe a little bit out of position. But ECU found some stuff that really worked for them that took advantage of how USF was lined up. And USF didn't have a great answer for it. But here early in the game, 2nd and 8, good job on first down, only allowing 2 yards, right? They got a counter coming back this way. I believe this is Mac Harris, true freshman. He's just closing down like crazy on the backside of this counter. They're doing a pretty good job with it up here. You can see if you just watch it there, they kind of stuff it and would have forced it. You know, he kind of takes it out. But unfortunately, he's your edge player, and he gives up the edge to chase that. Young guy mistake, especially because he was a safety in high school, wasn't he? Mac Harris. Yep. So he's probably not been the edge player a ton. And then you let the quarterback pulls it. And this play is a double killer because not only do you give up a big run here, but you get the targeting, which I thought was kind of I thought it was a weak call personally, but, you know, what can I say? So then you lose the defensive back, but the defense kind of bows up, holds them to a field goal after that big run. You get the ball back. So on both sides, they're just looking. It's like a numbers game, right? Over here, you got 3 over 2. I feel like the count. You have 2 over 2, and you may even have a third off here, but really these guys that are back deep, you don't really need to count them. In the box, you got a 5-man box. You could probably run this here because this is a favorable box count. But just a flash fake and throw it. He's just going to block number 1, and now you have your receiver one-on-one with a safety or linebacker. I'm just picking up some yardage. So just take the free yards if they're out there. Just take them. And I think this is the guy, Latrell Williams, this is the guy you need to be throwing it to. Later in the game to throw it to St. Felix. That's not really his game. I think Latrell Williams is pretty good at this. Maybe get some of these to Omarion Dollison. And even Dukes is a big physical guy that can get downhill, get some yards out of it. But, what does that set up? So you have the same look here. And now I'm just going to slip him down the middle of the field. So if they do have the safety wide over the top here, which it would appear they do, and they're blitzing, which is with no shock, just whip it out fast, get it to the tight end, let him run.
It's very reminiscent to calling back to, I mean, the first thing I thought of when I saw this first drive was the USF Navy game back in, oh God, what was that, 2016, where USF basically put the hurt on Navy in the first quarter, in the first half, and they did stuff like this. Basically, they got ahead of what the defense was thinking, just by purely executing these screens properly, and then that slip throw that they had to, I believe it was Sean Price. I mean, I when I saw it, I thought it was the exact same play call. Basically just give a quick screen and show that quick screen and then slip it to your tight end up the field who's basically wide open with no one around you.
Yeah, I mean, it was good sequencing, good job by the quarterback getting out of his hands quickly, and then you come right back up on the ball, and it looks like you're just trying to split zone, and you've got an advantageous box here. He's going to come kick out the end man. This is what I thought you'd get more in the game, is the lighter boxes like this and being able to get to the second level and have some bigger runs. It didn't come to pass that way, but to start the game, very good start, and you have a lead. So this is the kind of the thing I talked about that where ECU found an advantage. We're getting a little bit of a late start here, but you see all these bodies inside the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Or kind of inside the tackle box, right? So what ECU did is they would block down and just kind of close this side off. And then we're going to pull two guys. So we'll pull the front side guard and kick, and the back side guard and wrap on like a buck sweep scheme. They also did it with counter, but it just caves down. Basically, this line of scrimmage is caved down there. Here's a puller. And then you got another puller coming for the safety, basically. And that was the run that ECU used to kind of gobble up yards. And you'll see a similar thing here. This is kind of a little bit of a tight front look where they're kind of all three are inside the tackles. But if you're not great on the perimeter here, I can just pin you inside. And these are easy blocks on the backside. Pull him, and then he's going to motion wide. The quarterback's just reading. If these guys widen out, I just follow my puller up inside. So this is real easy read. If you are getting pinned on the perimeter like this, this is going to make it easy to run outside. And that happened a lot in the game, is those ends just got pinned inside and they would pull guys around and just run outside of it. They ended up scoring here. But here's a good play. So earlier, they ran like a little rub and got free on a 4th and 1, I believe it was, for a first down. So they're kind of looking to do the same thing here, but they do a good job of passing this off. And these are the guys you depend on. You got KJ Sales here, Mike Hampton here, trying to do a rub, but these guys do a good job of passing it off, and then he'll try to get it back in the end zone. Good job exchanging this route right here. This guy came wide open free on the 4th down before. Now you got your veteran guys on it. Jumps on top of it. Forces a tough throw into no space. So that was a really good job right there passing that thing off. Now, unfortunately, a similar thing happens here, and they don't do a good job here. When you have a linebacker, I believe this, you have a linebacker in the corner here. Looks like Mike Hampton. It's the same idea. He kind of hugs down on this. If he passes that off, which is it's tough, but it may not be his job, right? It may just be, the linebacker's got to fight through it. But the way he responds doesn't seem like he's into that. So if he passes it off and gets out here and the linebacker takes over, now he'll probably pivot away. You still might have a throw, but you may be able to take this away. And that's 4th and goal. If you get a stop there, maybe the game changes a little bit. You keep your lead a little bit longer. But you see the play before, exchange it perfectly. There, you get a younger guy at linebacker. The exchange isn't so smooth. Now here's the touchdown. This is a bit of bad luck, I think. So this is Townsville, I believe, correct, man to man.
Mm-hmm.
Now what ECU did a good job is they put, I believe this is like a tight end out here, and they put their best receiver in the slot, and instead of matching him, instead of, okay, KJ Sale's is going to jump inside with him, they just left this Townsville on him. But, the week before, Townsville was going against a really good Cincinnati receiver, made an interception. So you don't feel terrible with that matchup. This is just basically cover one man and some type of blitz. But what I think may be a bust here by the safety is when you got a 3-by-1 to the field, especially, there's a lot of room over here. You may want to shade that way a little bit. Because right now there's a ton of room over there. He's still kind of on the hash over here. You see the ball's thrown. He's still in the middle. He's still almost on the hash. If he could get himself closer to the middle of the field, or even shade the 3-receiver side after the snap, once he sees this in-breaker, haul butt over the top there, he might be able to make a play on this ball. Now, it's unfortunate you have what looks to be a cramp, or maybe we haven't heard, but they thought cramp or pulled muscle, and then your safety's not over the top of that. And that's, like your 4th or 5th string safety, just because they play with so many of them. But this guy, he's getting his first action of the year. And so, yeah, maybe if he's over the top of this, maybe he can make a play on it. If he's in the middle of the field and the ball snap, maybe he's here and he can knock it away. Or, you knock it away and they're punting. Instead, you got a guy cramp up or pull a hamstring. Probably cramp up because he's still running a little bit. And it's just an easy touchdown. So that's little things, but that's guys that haven't played a ton.
I was about to say I believe that's Jaden Curry from IMG Academy, and he hasn't. I think this is the most extensive playing time he's had. He's normally been on special teams.
And it's just an experience thing. That could just be as simple as, hey man, you lined up. Like his steps and everything after snap could have been perfect, but hey, shade the 3-receiver side. It could have just been as simple as that. Mm-hmm. So, and that's how stuff starts to get downhill on you when you got guys that don't normally play, having to get in and play against, the receiver's a pretty decent player, and the quarterback's streaky. When he's hot, he can hit throws. That's not a good recipe. So here's another good look at it. This is after the Mcleod fumble. So you really need a response on offense. You fumble after a nice run to pick up the first down. But you can kind of see here, they went double tight. And you see, these guys didn't really move out. Like they just stayed, okay, my job is to be inside the tackle, right? Inside shade of the tackle, so that's where I'm going to stay. Well, when I go double tight, I've got to either widen out or I got to bring somebody else up. Who they decided to bring up is KJ Sales. And unfortunately for KJ Sales, he's having to take on a pulling guard. So this is down, down, down. He can kick out here, and then this guard wraps for whoever's next. This is a really good design by ECU and a good plan, but this is kind of a really good way to attack that tight front.
I'm trying to figure out this defensive alignment that Glenn Spencer chose for this, because that almost looks like it's a 3-1-6.
Well, it was so the tight front, like it's that Iowa State kind of in vogue thing. These guys will play through the inside of the tackle, so you can kind of hold up. You can almost chew up 2 gaps, and then you'll have guys playing the edges for the outside gaps. So these guys will be run players on the outside. They got to come up and fit. And that allows you to play 3 safeties across the top that can come down and fit, or you can do a bunch of different stuff in coverage. But there'll be pictures of Iowa State playing where it looks like they only have 4 guys in the box.
Mm-hmm.
But those guys that are playing kind of in between on the receivers are actually they have run responsibility. But here, I don't know if he got caught in a blitz, but this is what happened all night. When they had the tight end here, there wasn't an adjustment out, so he just blocked him down, and then just used pullers to create new gaps out here. Good design by ECU, but
I was about to say it attacked basically the strength of our defense, which is, I mean, I'd hate to say it, is on the defensive line, it's Thad Mangum. They basically took him out of the play, and they took him out of the night, essentially. I didn't hear his name get called at all.
Yeah, gap run plays are great, and gap plays are, when you see a guard pulling, typically it's like gap plays, what they call it, gap run plays. Why those are so great is because right here, I got a good angle on a down block. It's an easier block for my linemen, and then I get to pull some linemen, so get some guys moving downhill. So gap plays give me good angles in the run game and make blocks easier for my linemen. And then when you get to put your guards on defensive backs, that's going to be helpful too.
And then not a great attempt to tackle in the back half of that play.
Not the best. All right, so you got Mcleod back here. Need an answer after that. The pass protection is not bad here. He's able to kind of find the window here and then throws a strike on the post to Marion Dollison, who I think has got to play a little bit more. He's a guy that every time he touches the ball, something good happens. So you got 7-man protection in. So here's kind of my when I talk about the 7-man protection and how it can be good and it can be bad. It can be good because it gives you time to make this throw. But I mean, look how many guys are dropping back underneath,
And all it takes is that delayed blitz by that linebacker who's basically was spying Jordan to absolutely blow him up.
Yeah. Well, this is one you'd hope he'd maybe just stay in the pocket a little bit more, but I think he's just trying to find a window, He sees it, he's trying to find a little window. And he makes a great throw, great accurate throw, so you can't really ding him too much. Good throw, good run after catch, and that's the guy you need to get the ball to more. So I'd imagine we're going to see him get the ball a little more. 3rd and 5, you have a little RPO look here. They're going to run a hitch. He's going to widen with the hitch. We get a give here. You see his back's turned. He has no clue what's happening. So Mcleod's reading him right now. You can see his eyes are on him. So good read by Mcleod here. And a good run by Johnny Ford on the 3rd and 5. So there's a 3rd down conversion. And then what happens the very next play? This is a just great individual effort here. You got split zone called. They call the perfect play here. I don't know if they, it's something where, they know the back's offset and they go opposite a lot. So they call a corner blitz here right into the play. I mean, this is the perfect call for ECU. But that guy's pretty good. He makes him miss. The receiver misses the block, but he does a good job not to get a clip. And then he catches another block there to spring him for the touchdown. So pretty good individual play right there by Johnny Ford.
As is tradition.
This is one they'll want back. So they throw the screening up. You got a good block here. Mcleod is going to try to throw this back behind him. This is probably his worst throw of the night, unfortunately, this would have been probably a touchdown for sure. He's throwing it back here. Johnny Ford steps up, and now he's going to release out and actually come back to there is what the play is. You see the safeties in the corner, right? The corner's coming up. This safety's coming up for that. Unfortunately, the ball sails super high, but you can see this guy was going to be wide open if we get a good throw there. And that was going to be a touchdown probably.
Watching that
But
live physically hurt me.
sometimes these throws are the toughest ones when you got a real easy throw and you're the first half of like a trick play. Sometimes these throws are the toughest ones. But also, this is probably the only time he's been under center all season. So, and I don't know, did they go under center at all last year? So when you see him go under center, you kind of knew something was up, but you still caught him off guard. You just got to get the throw there. Because if they get that one, they probably get this one right here. For a touchdown, you end up having to settle for a field goal in this drive. So just little stuff. But you get 3rd and 12 here, and you convert. Looks like you got digs on both sides. You just kind of sit, tight end with flat, and then a dig at the first down marker there. Good job by your receiver. Good throw by the quarterback. I don't know if he even saw this guy, but it didn't matter. Good throw into an open window for a first down.
I was about to say, I think that's where Jeff Scott was kind of talking about his timing with the receiver, because he threw that right off his break.
Yes, very good.
Very good throw.
Pitch throw. Good timing. There's your receiver. You want to keep giving him the ball. He's a pretty good player. So let's take a look here, kind of the protection. All right, so what happens here? Why does the protection break down? Well, you have it's hard to say exactly what you got here. Do you have a 3-man slide? It looks like you have a 3-man slide to this side, and you have the tight end there. He's kicking for outside. He's there. Your back should step up right there. And then you got to be hot. If, 2 guys come, you got to be hot off one of these guys probably. 2 from the same side, maybe you want him breaking right there on a hot route. Maybe they don't have hot routes. But
God, I hope they do.
I would think they would maybe something they want to look into. But yeah, if he's able to break there, maybe they don't have one because he's coming breaking inside. But if you have time here, you do have him. I believe Bryce Miller basically 1-on-1 in the corner out. You'd have a shot at it, but not a great pass protection rep here from the back. Who I'm not sure what he's looking at. He may be thinking inside. So he's going to take the inside guy. So that's kind of is what he does. They just bring 2. So not a terrible job here. You can see they bring 2. The shortest distance is a straight line, so you want to make sure your inside is protected. So he goes inside. They just bring 1 more than they can block. On that side, what could they have done to help it? I don't know. Probably slide this way would have been a little bit better maybe. But you still might have a number issue. They slide right. Back, picks up 1, can't pick up 2. But Mcleod does a good job getting out of a bad play that might have taken them out of field goal range and gets it back to third and 9. I mean, it probably would have, right? 3rd and 9. So he gets it back into field goal range. They make a field goal. Anytime you end drive with the points, that's good. All right, here's the last play for the evening. Just kind of, there wasn't much to this. You just kind of got beaten man to coverage there. So when you see compressed splits, a lot of times I like to think why do you compress? It's 1 of 2 reasons, right? You're either trying to get closer so you can get across the field faster, which they will do. But when I was coaching, I like to compress to get more space out here. So that's when I compress. If you're coming down with me, now I got all this room out here to throw the ball to. And then all it is at that point is about winning the route. So the receiver does a good job of setting him inside. So see, he leans inside here, gets the defensive back to open up, and then he just breaks him off. And once he gets outside, right there, he's won the route right now.
Yeah.
Because he's got leverage, and he's got all that room. If the quarterback makes a decent throw, which he does, it's over.
And that's the easiest throw a left-handed quarterback can ever make in their entire life.
Yeah. So, hey, some good plays from ECU. They got guys on scholarship too. But there were some opportunities, I think, to make plays. But a lot of it was just, young guys in position. You'd like to see a little bit better there from Mike Hampton. But he made some other plays in the game. So it's kind of, you're not going to make every one. But, there's opportunities to make plays there on the field. They just got to do it.
Don't say execute. We're not going to go back into that realm, are we? Oh, I know. Well, Seth, I can't believe you've done it again. You talked me into USF being able to turn the corner eventually. It's amazing. You're on the spot when it comes to making me feel good about USF football, which in this day and age is a miracle, it feels like. But
I really didn't mean to, but so it's just a byproduct of my soothing voice.
It's the soothing dulcet tones that get to me.
Yeah.
But it's clear that the scheme is there. I feel like, and it's a fair assessment to say, just because of the amount of injuries and the guys that they're playing don't have quite as much experience. It's natural.
It is that, and then also I thought they could have made some adjustments, but it's hard to make adjustments when you're trying to get guys to learn the basics. Like this guy, it's my first time in the game. All right, well now we're adjusted. We got to make this total adjustment. And they're like, well, I don't even know how to line up. I've done it in practice, but when pace starts going and stuff like that, so it makes it a little bit tougher even to make in-game adjustments when you got to put in guys that have not played very much. So, I thought there was some stuff they could have done better, everybody, but I'm sure they'd tell you the same thing. But just keep looking for improvement. It was didn't really lift your spirits very much watching that game. But who knows? Maybe they'll go into Temple and come out with a W. What do you think about that?
Oh, Seth, that's bold, but I'm here for it. I think
that was a big.
I think nothing would rouse up this fan base even more than a win at Temple right now.
That maybe was doing a lot of heavy lifting there. Don't get too excited. Let's pump the brakes.
Let's pump it. Well, Seth, as always, it's much appreciated bringing your expertise, your knowledge, your experience into making us understand what's going on in the back end and seeing things that us laymen and couch quarterbacks don't see all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure you see it. There's some stuff that you don't really need to explain. Some of the things that happened didn't really need an explanation.
I was waiting for that Jordan Mcleod fumble to just pop up in there and just talk about hand security.
I wanted to, but I was trying to give some of the linemen a break because they jumped for the ball and you couldn't have slid a piece of paper underneath their feet. That's how high they got off the ground. So I'm trying to spare some of the boys a little rabble rousing.
Oh yeah. And I will say, unironically, I was watching the USF vlog, which if you guys haven't watched those are absolutely fantastic to give a good insight and make you realize, hey, these are actually kids and people. I think that gets caught up a lot of times.
That are trying and learning, and it's tough. Then they're in school and they have all this crazy COVID stuff. It's not the easiest year.
No, not at all. And they did their little special on Xavier Dye this week, who coaches our wide receivers, and they were doing a ball protection drill in which they gave Xavier Dye and one of the I believe he's a graduate assistant, Justin Sparrows, a boxing gloves, and Jordan Mcleod, not paying attention, just gets socked and drops the ball, and I'm sure had that fumble not happened, that would have been a really funny clip. We all would have laughed, but I don't know when that fumble or when they filmed this because, Jordan, you gotta have better ball security than that sometimes.
Head on a swivel, Jordan.
Head on a swivel. Well, I think we can end it there. Again, Seth, thank you so much for your expertise here. Make sure to follow us at Stampede SBN. Didn't fuck that up this week. Myself at Robert Steeg Life. And as always, at Seth Varnadore _
Just at Seth Varnadore.
At Seth Varnadore. Nice and
the
easy.
first of my name.
At Seth Varnadore. I'm sure he's going to be tweeting the hell out of it for this Temple game, giving some good insight. I myself, I will probably not be doing that. I will have some fun. I'll throw in some funny memes in there, but boy, I don't want to watch this one. So until next week, week 8 or 9 or 7th game of the season or whatever it is, thank you and good night.